is something that I've done in my business for a very long time. When I first got started into Tupperware, it wasn't called the Power Hour. It was just put an hour of your time in your business every day and you'll come up with really good results. How many of you don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to, but answer in your head, honestly, do you put an hour a day of your time into your business? What do you think would happen if you put a minimum of 1 hour a day into your Tupperware business? Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times we work for some place and we clock in and we give them 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, and we give them our heart and soul, don't we? Mm-hmm. And do they ever pay us what we're worth? No. And then we go home, and for our business, we don't put our heart and soul in it, do we? But we should, shouldn't we? Because we deserve it. And who should we work the hardest for? Ourselves or someone else that's not paying us what we're worth? So I encourage you to go out this week and start doing the Power Hour. These are sheets. One side is host coaching, one side's recruiting, one side's dating, and the other side is customer care calls. So this is your sheet to take home, and Inky's going to email them out as well. But I encourage you to go home and do an hour a day. And what I try to do, and see there's no date on here, so you can, I three brand new lips today, 3-hole punch them and put them in a binder, so that way I can put the date on there. So if today, January 5th, is the day that I'm doing the customer care calls, the next time I do customer care calls, I'll know I haven't done them since that day. It helps me keep up with it. I put the date on there. But I try to make at least as many customer care calls. So I'm going to do my customer care calls. I'm going to do my Power Hour. I'm ready, right? Clock started. That's not the time that you get your desk organized, or that you get your leads together, or that you do all that stuff, right? Well, if you're going to do a Power Hour, make it an hour really, truly of power. And make the phone calls for an entire hour. I like to take a 2-minute timer and put it by my desk when I'm going to make phone calls, and turn it on every time. I like to try to make my phone calls close to 2 hours, 2 minutes. Did I say 2 hours? Oh my gosh. 2 minutes is possible, because if you're not careful, you'll get on the phone and start talking to one person, and you realize that half the hour's gone and it was with one person. There's a lot you can get accomplished in 2 to 3 minutes. If it goes over a minute or two, that's fine. But try to keep it as close as you can to 2 to 3 minutes. So if I'm making customer care calls, I may pull out some of my old lead slips. I may call people that came to a party that had a lot in sales, and I call and say, hello, this is Susie, your Tupperware lady, because I'm their Tupperware lady, right? I don't want anybody else to be their Tupperware lady, do I? I'm their Tupperware lady. This is Susie, your Tupperware lady. I was calling to see if you needed any service. And they're always stunned by me saying that. They're like, no, I'm good. And I say, okay, well, I see that you bought modular mates at Jessica's party about 6 months ago. How are they working for you? Oh, yeah, they're good. I've got them in my pantry, my cabinet. I'm sure they were really good for Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. Yes, okay. Well, I just want to let you know they're on sale again now, and whatever. So just kind of a customer service call. A lot of my customer service calls do end up in more sales, a dating, or a recruit. Because I always try to throw that one last bone out there at the very end. Hey, do you know that we're having a big recruiting push this month, and we're looking for people to join our business? And I just wanted to tell you, if you know somebody who is looking to sell Tupperware, this might be a good time for them to get in. If you'll just pass my name along. And usually they'll go, well, I might want to do it, right? But if I said, do you want to sell Tupperware, they might be a little bit nervous. But I always say, if you know somebody looking to make a little extra money, then... Now when I'm making my dating phone calls, of course, I almost do the exact same thing. Dating kind of rolls over into recruiting, kind of rolls over into customer service. So they're very similar, and I always do the mountaintop, date a party. If they don't want to date a party, join my team. If they don't want to join my team, then a sale. If they don't want to have a sale, then give me a referral, right? And if you've gone through all 4 of those, then you're good. But dating phone calls are really important right now because we're in big weeks, right? And we're all trying to fill our date book. And some of the people out there don't want to join Tupperware and don't want to be part of your team. So why not date a party and get a bunch for free? That's the perfect time to do it, right? For my host coaching calls, this is really important. If you're not calling your host enough, then you're going to show up and you're not going to have as many guests, are you? You're not going to have as many outside orders, are you? You're not going to have as many datings and waiting. So I use my host coaching, my power hour, to talk to my host about dating parties, about getting extra orders outside, about how many people are coming. Now, not all of our hosts or potential recruits are phone people, are they? Some of them like to text, don't they? Mm-hmm. So my power hour may not be just the phone, the whole entire time. Maybe it is texting people. It's just a time that I sit down and really dedicate that time to my business. So I may text people, I may do whatever. And now if I did the power hour on host coaching today at noon, maybe next week I'm going to do it at 7 o'clock. Because you're not going to catch people, you don't want to catch people the same time all the time. So make sure that you're rotating the times and varying it. I schedule these power hours in my date book, so that way it's in there. How many of you work a job where you go somewhere and clock in or whatever, right? What would happen if somebody said, let's just go to the grocery store instead of you going to work? What would happen? You get fired. So that's the way you should feel about your Tupperware business, your power hour. Go home, put it in your date book. I've got a power hour this time. Somebody says, let's go to the mall, let's go shopping. Oh, I can't, I've got to work between 6 and 7. What do you think would happen with your Tupperware business if you gave that power hour that importance? It would change, wouldn't it? I know in the beginning I tended to work my business around everything else I had to do, fun stuff, instead of planning my business and putting the fun stuff around what my business was. And then about 4 or 5 months in, I decided my business was important enough to me to plan the other fun stuff around. I can go to the grocery store, I can go to the mall with my kids anytime. But this is when my business is scheduled, right? Last but not least is the recruiting call I want to talk to you guys about, because the pressure cooker, I mean, how great is that? And didn't she say she would double?
She said she would do as many, if every 3.
Double
If you
and
did 9, she'll do 9. Or
Gail's
she'll do
going to do
3.
like 20 recruits, so she's sending a whole bunch to Gail. So this is a huge offer, guys. Huge, huge offer. And that's not just to the people who were here, right, Judy?
No, it's open to everybody.
Do you think if we recruit somebody tomorrow, it will be open to them as well?
Yes.
Ooh. So as soon as you recruit somebody, get them in, and then offer them this. That's a huge special. We had that at one time. You had to have so many recruits, and then you had a copay for it. So for us to have that now and not have a copay is huge. And so if you had that same kind of feeling when you call people for potential recruits, I think they're going to hear it. Oh, Jessica, your pasta's done. They're going to hear it over the phone in your voice. If you called and said, oh my goodness, Nyla, this is so excited. We're going to do this, and you're going to be able to earn this, then they're going to hear that, and they're going to do it too. Remember, we always say to recruit your girlfriend, your mom, your sister, your cousin. Start in your family and friend circle, because if you're going to do something big, why not do it with your friends and family, right? And then the first thing you do after you get them recruited is what? Bring them where?
Rally.
To rally. All right? So schedule your power hour. Get your 52 parties pledged. And let's make 215 big.
Yes.
Great.